Um, Namaskar and good morning to all of you. Um, to Dr. VP Singh ji, I'm very grateful to you for inviting me to deliver a talk in the area of your this seminar, um, especially the research for research scholars and teachers. Um, Thank you very much for saying nice words about me. You are very affectionate to me. Uh, you are very emotional, and the words you said, I don't know whether I'm justifiable for that or not. Um, but you live in the very core of my heart, that I know, and you know too. With this personal note, I would also like to thank the organizers of this program who considered my name for this. Um, Having said that, I have chosen an area that is useful for many more research scholars and the teachers who are teaching in the colleges and the university. And my target is twofold. Number one is how to carry out research in that area, and what are the implications of pedagogy of that area. And the field that I'm going to talk about is cultural studies. Cultural studies as a major field of research. This is my topic. VP Singh ji might be knowing this fact that when we are doing our PG, then there was only one optional for all of us, that was Indian writing in English. And there were a lot of debates about this, that whether Indian writing in English should be opted as a, as a paper. But these days, you will be surprised to know that Department of English, BHU, has launched so many, optional courses on the demand of the teachers and the demand of the research scholars and students. They are film studies, Dalit studies, women's writing, disability literature. What are these? These are cultural studies. That is the main focus these days uh, pertaining to research and teaching. And one of my experiences that I would like to share with the research scholars who are attending this program is, for the past 3-4 years, uh, when we invite applications for research and when we examine their topics of research, about 80-85% topics pertain to cultural studies. What is this? A student says, sir, I want to do research in disability literature. Someone says, sir, I want to do research in sexuality. Someone says, sir, I want to do research in film and literature. Someone says, I want to do research in the area of rape culture. We were astonished to see that what is this? What is happening? And while taking, their interviews, uh, the teachers thought that now the word has gone ahead. And hardly 10% students opt for pure literature, like talking about Shakespeare, Milton, T.S. Eliot, and other, literary stalwarts. So this is the reality of teaching and research in the Department of Literature and English. If we ignore this, and if we say that we are not revising our syllabi, then definitely we are not doing justice to the research scholars and the students of the department. So this is the reality. And one thing I'd like to add here before I start. Uh, when I evaluate, PhD dissertations from different universities, especially from JNU, from Hyderabad, from Kolkata, from Mumbai, from, Nehu, again, I say 70-75% researches, they pertain to this area: cultural studies, travel literature, disability, sexuality, this art form, interdisciplinary. So I thought that I should familiarize the research scholars in the area of cultural studies that is of immense importance and potentiality for research and teaching. What is the cultural phenomenon in the academic world today? Look at this. Uh, Professors of French, they are writing books about cigarettes. There are the professors are writing books about fat, obsession with fat of the Americans. Shakespearean scholars are writing about bisexuality. Experts in the area of realism and fiction, they are writing about serial killers, biker gangs, and the professors of literature, they have moved away from Milton to Madonna and from Shakespeare to soap opera. What is this? What is happening? I tell my students, this is cultural studies. This is what is happening, the reality. So if this is cultural activities, the study of the art form, so how to analyze it, how to theorize it, how to organize it for research and for teaching. See, cultural studies looks at popular culture, and popular culture, that is the culture of the masses, culture of the common man. And popular culture is like television, that is present everywhere. So what is this popular culture? Popular culture is graffiti, is a picture book, is film, is television, is cocktail, is pub talk, is mall, is fashion, is comic literature, gossip, this fusion music, various art forms. They have become the major text in cultural studies. So television, music, film, comic books, Spider-Man, different kinds of magazines, cartoons, they are the cultural texts. And how these texts are to be organized in studies. If we ask my students what is a text, they talk about Shakespeare's plays, Milton's writings. They said, this is the text, sir. How can these things be, graffiti will be a text? How can, this folk will be a text? This is, very, very, inquisitive, areas, inquisitive questions. So the point is that for a very long time, these forms of literature, these forms of popular culture were considered as subordinate, were pejorative, secondary, and they were not the part of the canon. If we prescribe syllabus, we don't include these things. And these days, nowadays, we are including these art forms in our studies for our research. An interesting thing is that what is this? What is the aim of cultural studies? The aim of cultural studies, it studies, it tries to understand how does culture function. Understanding of the cultural functioning of the culture is cultural studies. How cultural productions work, how cultural productions are organized, how political intervention takes place, and how the apparatuses, state, power, media, multinational corporations are involved in the production of culture. It is not only popular culture, this is mass culture. This is mass production of culture. Who produces this culture? It is not like the human beings, our customs of the past. These days, media, state, power, agency, ideology, All these things produce mass culture. This is cultural studies. So what is the, this cultural studies has polysemic character. Polysemic. What is polysemic? Having several senses, several meanings. And in this, cultural studies, the focus is on the two keywords, cultural and studies. It is not culture study, it is cultural studies. Studies and culture, cultural forms. So the nature of cultural studies contains four things. One is cultural studies is interdisciplinary or post-disciplinary. What is this interdisciplinary? Cultural studies interacts with, combines with sociology, political science, anthropology, film, linguistics, women studies, and so many branches of human studies. So this is interdisciplinary subject. Second thing is that cultural studies interferes in the as a political interference. Third thing is cultural studies is defined by new subject, new themes in our cultural domain, in our literary domain. So it is new in terms of themes and structure. And fourthly, culture studies is defined as new cultural approach in terms of theoretical formulations. It interacts with theory. It interacts with postmodernism, with structuralism and post-structuralism, with reader response theory, and other contemporary theories like, Marxism, feminism. So in order to understand cultural studies and to do research in this area, my friend, my research scholars, be sure that you should have grounding in theory. Because theory is also interdisciplinary. Theory is not literary theory. It is not literary criticism that what is imagination, what is the function of writer. No. Theory interacts with other disciplines. Theory comes from linguistics, from anthropology, from sociology, from political science. And cultural studies also interacts with these areas. So in order to understand this, cultural studies, we should study with a focus. Like suppose if you ask me that what should be the kind of the nature of a topic of research, I'll say you can work in the area like representation of disability in picture books. Look at this topic. Disability literature, how it is represented, not in Shakespeare, not in Milton, not in any canonized text, but in picture books, in comics. This is cultural studies. Travel writing and other these are kind of forms where the representation of film and media. How you can also talk about graffiti, wall writing, pictures, and this in this graffiti, how this graffiti affects the cultural space of cities. So these are the areas of where so many flooded with the areas of research in cultural studies. Now let us talk about very briefly about the emergence, the development of cultural studies. It is very old or new. I'll tell you that cultural studies centers around three forms of development. One is the culturalist frame, the second is the structuralist frame, and third is the institutional. When I say that the culturalist, especially in the mid 1950s, cultural theorists, especially Marxists, they brought working class culture into the center of study and learning. And I'll mention three great stalwarts. Credit goes to them for this. One was Raymond Williams. Culture and Society is very famous book. And that laid in one way the cultural studies framework. What he says, one very significant line statement is, he defines culture as culture is ordinary, not elitist. Culture is ordinary, culture is simple, culture belongs to common man. The audience is the common man, not elitist, not aristocratic, not, the intellectuals, the scholars. So he brought the focus on the common man, on the common, the popular culture. Remember, students of literature might be knowing Matthew Arnold, Culture and Anarchy. There he talks about a high culture, low culture, barbarians culture, Philistines culture. So the high culture refers to the culture of the Greek, Roman, Latin, canonized culture, intellectual culture, but not of this kind of, the popular culture, culture of the masses. In that way, the other two who joined this club of the Marxist approach, the Marxist approach to the growth of cultural studies, that was Richard Hogarth and Thompson. Richard Hogarth, the uses of literacy, and Thompson, especially in the making of the English working class culture. So Culture and Society and these three books, they are the basic for understanding and for research purposes, that if you write introduction of cultural studies, you cannot ignore this. The idea is that they say that we should not go into the debate of the high and low culture. The high culture, low culture debate, this kind of, the thing should go out, and we should create, we should rediscover the working class popular culture. And this gave an answer to the formation of canon, great literature, great art. All definitions were questioned. The second, this is the, what I say, the culturalist, the Marxist, mid 1950s, structuralist. Structuralist, we all know that structuralism functions focusing on codes, rules, conventions of language. If we want to understand a text, then language is the central thing. And they try to underline, they try to discover the rules governing that thing. And rules, like if I say that what Saussure said, that there is a signifier and signified, and from the signifier is a form, signified is meaning, and this meaning comes through the kind of convention. Relationship is arbitrary, and this is the way we know the meaning of a word. But one great structuralist we all know, Roland Barthes, the French, and it's a must-read book for my research scholars, I'll say, and some of you might have studied that book, Mythologies. I think 1957-58 book, Mythologies. Roland Barthes theorizes that how modern myths are formed, how modern cultural myths are formed, how agencies, state, power, they are involved in producing the modern culture. Very interesting. And there he talks about, Roland Barthes talks about so many things. He talks about high culture, also he talks about low culture. He talks about detergent powder. He also talks about advertisement of car. He also talks about Einstein's brain. And he also talks about red wine. He also talks about, the professional wrestling and boxing. And he brought into the center the idea of how popular myths come to the center, and it is being utilized by common masses, and especially by the multinational companies. Look at this political intervention and the corporations concerned here. So the study of meaning is not only in the associated framework that signified, and we understand the meaning. Roland Barthes says that there is another level of meaning: the contextual meaning, circumstantial meaning, the political meaning, the ideological meaning. I refer to his, essay on red wine. Red wine, in France is considered to be a kind of national drink. Who made this? Who popularized this? The ideology, the popular culture, the industrialist who wanted to earn money. How did he studies? He said that my purpose is to study at the framework of language, that how a thing, an art form, it becomes a commodity, a materialistic commodity to use. Wine is wine. The red color of wine, Roland Barthes says that through language, through structure, through advertisement, through media, it was shown that red wine resembles Holy Communion. Holy Communion is Holy Communion refers to the Last Supper of Christ. Bread and butter and the red color of the blood of Christ. And this is the way the presentation of the red wine becomes so popular that in any drink, in any popular drink, we should drink red wine, number one. Its resemblance, its mythical creation in the modern time of red wine with the Holy Communion, number one. And number two was that it was told that, it was advertised that red wine has good health properties. If someone drinks it, cholesterol will become lower and health benefits will increase. The thing is that it was popularized in such a way that very few people question this. But if you read from the with the scientific temper and from the doctor's point of view, that it says that no, if you drink too much, it's so harmful. It's wine. But because of this association, what happened, that it becomes so popular drink in any meeting, in any religious ceremony, in any function, that red wine becomes so popular drink. And who owned this, the company, other things, this is what he said. Similarly, Roland Barthes analyzes various things. Professional wrestling, wrestling has certain rules there, and he talks about the rules of a game. Sport is also a cultural artifact. Sports is also an activity in cultural studies. About the wrestling, there are rules, overt rules of wrestling, that you should, in the wrestling, we use this rule number one, rule number two, rule number three, rule number four. But in the professional wrestling, what happens? That the rules are hidden. People are fighting in television show, you'll find that one becomes a villain, another becomes a hero, and he defeats it, becomes cruel, this like this. And the children, other people, they become so happy, they start clapping that, oh, he's defeating that. This becomes so popular in media by this kind of agency, that we say that, look at this. So where is the meaning? Meaning is not only semantic meaning, my friends. For meaning in cultural studies, we have to devise different tools of study. And those tools are to be created, to be studied. If you do research in cultural studies in terms of this, in sports or other activity, remember that what kind of tools are necessary? What are the basic assumptions of this cultural studies? The third thing, First, I said culturalist, the Marxist, interference in the area of cultural studies. Second was the structuralist point of view, so that the cultural studies comes to the front with, the ideology and the state power and media kind of contribution. Third thing was the institutional. Richard Hogarth, I mentioned in the beginning. Richard Hogarth in University of Birmingham, he established a center for cultural studies, Center for Contemporary Cultural, CCCS, and this laid down certain principles, tools of analysis of cultural studies. 1964 is the year when this CCCS was established, and after that, this cultural studies began, very vigorously in the new academic disciplines. Later on, Stuart Hall, Paul Duguay, and so many, Willis, Cohen, all were associated with cultural studies, and they brought into context that how to study, how to gain meaning, what are the political implications, how does politics interfere in the cultural artifacts, what is the role of media, what is the role of state and power, how are the cultural artifacts represented, how identities are formed, and how these things are to be clearly understood. So for the research scholar, the greatest challenge is that if you are not aware of the major theoretical framework, if you say that you should know what is postmodernism, what is post-truth theory, what is post-structuralism and structuralism, what is the contribution of Derrida and others. So cultural studies in a way did so many things. One is it has broken the autonomy, it has broken the the power of the canonized literature and makes entry into the mainstream and gave a new color to the study of literature as well. And people say that it is quite possible, it's a kind of conjecture, that they say that the time may come when literature becomes secondary and cultural studies will become primary. It's a debatable issue. I'm not sure about this, that what to say. Some say that cultural studies will swallow up literature. But when theory, when the interference of theory, theory is also interdisciplinary, as I said, that how ideology becomes so important. When I say ideology that colors any literary form, ideology is patriarchy in the case of the feminist study, because you cannot proceed without patriarchy, without the study of patriarchy in feminist literature. Then colonialism, post-colonialism, neo-colonialism is another ideology. Capitalism is another ideology. So for research scholars, if you are pursuing any research, that don't ignore, don't generalize things. If you are studying any cultural artifact with ideological framework, then say that whether you are, it's a kind, what kind of study are you pursuing? Now, what are the attributes, the characteristics, and what are the assumptions of cultural studies? In any research, assumptions are very important, and we all know that what is an assumption. Assumption basically is a kind of statement, and generally the statement are considered to be true, a kind of general statement that is made. But the assumptions sometimes are also challenged. And remember, as a research scholar, if you are writing in your introductory chapter, you are talking about your methodology, your assumptions, your research questions, your hypothesis, and your tools of analysis, then you should be very careful about writing 3, 4, 5 sentences about assumptions. When I say like when you talk about the Mars, the planet, earlier, the assumption was made about Mars. Nowadays, those assumptions are challenged. So assumptions may be right, assumptions may be challenged. You as a research scholar can challenge the assumptions as well. Suppose if I give 3, 4, 5 assumptions about cultural studies that you might like to pursue as a research, then one would be that the first assumption would be that cultural studies rejects the binary of high culture and low culture. Perfect. So far, the general idea, truth about cultural studies, yes, cultural studies rejects the binary of high culture and low culture. So it studies, it does not deny the existence of literature. It says that yes, for me, any cultural form, any cultural artifact is a matter of investigation, is a matter of study. So maybe high literature, low literature, common literature, mass culture, media culture, whatever culture be it, it should be investigated, it should be studied. The second, assumptions about cultural studies that you can draw is cultural studies believes in the anthropological view of culture. The anthropological view of culture refers to the whole, element of culture, whole part, every part of culture. So this is anthropology. Another thing is that another, assumption may be that cultural studies celebrates, it politicizes, and it celebrates diversity. It brings forth conflict. It does not have any universalist framework. It does not universalizes. It does not say that this is the truth. They are the possibilities. And remember how contemporary theory goes in hand with cultural studies. Those who are familiar with the contemporary theory, there are 4 or 5 major assumptions, major ideas about contemporary theory. When I say contemporary theory, I mean structuralism, post-structuralism, feminism, this post-colonialism, other things. They all believe somewhere like this. Number 1 is truth. Because in high literature, in literature, we are taught that when we study literature, our purpose is to search for truth, search for God, search for value, search for humanity, search for this. This was a kind of grand narrative. And the grand narratives were challenged very vigorously after 60s onwards. Derrida and Foucault, others, they have challenged this thing that the cultural studies is not based on grand narratives. Our epics, deliberated on grand narratives. सत्य की जय होती है, अधर्म का नाश होता है, ये होता है. That was the kind of training. This was questioned. So truth is provisional. This is theoretical training. Truth है भाई, truth जो है एक नहीं है, provisional है, possibilities है. And human nature, say human nature is universal. सब जगह एक आदमी हंसता है, रोता है, गाड़ा. They question it. Human nature is a myth. Another, question raised. Another point was that meaning is, contingent. Meaning is not absolute. Meaning is not final. Meaning is the meaning of another meaning. Derrida said that sign is the sign of another sign. Text is a sign. Text is the sign of another sign. Text is the sign of another text. Context is the context of another context. So what is happening? Meaning, that we say that when we read a text, then we say that this is the meaning of the text. Now that is under question mark. This is also possible, like Syadvad of Jainism. In Jainism, there is a theory, Syadvad. Syad asti cha, Syad nasti cha, Syad asti cha, nasti cha, Syad asti cha, avaktavyam cha. भाई ये है क्या? कहते हैं हाथी का हाथी को छुआ, आपने पूंछ छुआ, कहा हाथी पूंछ जैसे है. पैर छुआ तो ये हो गया। कभी दुनिया है ऐसी, ऐसा है जो you cannot reach to that. These are the, you know, presuppositions of the theories. So and you know, they talk about language. Language is the constructivist system. Language constitutes reality, and there are some critics, some theorists who say that language is not only for telling truth, language is not only telling for meaning, language is also for telling lies. And in the post-truth age, if you are able to tell lies in a very characteristic manner, then you can win. You will be a successful man. So this is the age, you know, the theoretical framework. This was so truth is provisional, and the last thing was in the contemporary critical theory, or theory basically, is that politics is all pervasive. Politics is everywhere. Political intervention is everywhere. This is what cultural studies is doing. Cultural studies also says that intervention of politics is almost in every field available. And the interference of politics or intervention of politics refers to the intervention of your ideology. Ideology of patriarchy, ideology of colonialism, post-colonialism, Marxism, whatever may be, neo-colonial framework, because you can't colonize nowadays any country, but in the neo-colonial framework, neo-colonial ideology, you can colonize a country. So you can talk about this if you're talking about a cultural artifact. Fashion. Look at the kind of the fashion concern, that how media is just governing that way. It looks so strange to those who have been trained in learning literature. Initially, actually, we are also troubled with this kind of thing when our research scholars say that, sir, मैं research करना चाहता हूँ मीडिया और इसमें लिटरेचर को लेकर के। ये तुम्हारा प्योर लिटरेचर कहाँ चला जाएगा? कहा नहीं सर, यही जमाना है। तो हमने कहा तो जमाना है तो पहले थियरी ठीक से पढ़ो, उसके बेसिक असम्पशंस को पढ़ो, तुम्हें डेरिडा पढ़ना होगा, फूको पढ़ना होगा, सारी आइडियल पोस्ट मॉडर्निज्म पढ़ना होगा, लेतार पढ़ना होगा। सर हम सब पढ़े हैं, पढ़ते हैं, देख रहे हैं, ये हो रहा है, पोस्ट ट्रूथ जानना होगा। तो वैल्यूज कहाँ है? व्हाट इज दिस वैल्यू? a big question mark for this, you know. Then another, you know, I'm just going to the tools of analysis, because you talked about the tools of research. So what are the major tools of analysis, tools of study, tools of research of cultural studies? To my research scholars, I'll suggest, you know, how to do with the cultural studies. 4 or 5 writers are associated with this book. Stuart Hall is one, Paul Duguay is another, and others. Must read book, do cultural studies. They talk about 4 or 5 major parameters, major you know, strands of analysis of cultural studies. And these you know, points of reference, these points are in tandem. So you can, the meaning of that artifact, the meaning of that text will come when you analyze a text, a cultural text, from these 4 or 5 angles. What are these? Number 1 is the representation. The second one is identity. Third one is production. Fourth is consumption. And fifth is agency. I repeat, for my research scholars, this is very, very important thing, that how to analyze a cultural text for research. So you should say that how this thing is represented. I take an example, you know, from you know, film and television. See how, you know, the agencies are involved, how state power is involved, how multinational companies are involved. You must have seen एक film देखी होगी आपने, हम आपके हैं कौन, became so popular. And for television, for, you know, film point of view, fine, but it was also remembered, it is also remembered for so many things, for fashion. शादी के लिए, you know, destination wedding. अब देखिए destination wedding कहाँ था कभी इंडिया में, अब लोग जिनके पास पैसा है सोचते हैं डेस्टिनेशन वेडिंग किया जाए, तो उसके लिए क्या कहेंगे भाई, भतवान के लिए कौन सा कपड़ा, तो इसके लिए कौन सा कपड़ा, शादी के लिए कौन सा कपड़ा, इसके लिए यानी विदाई के लिए कौन सा कपड़ा, क्या होगा, एवरीथिंग इज मैनेज्ड। और एक उसमें देयर इज वन एपिसोड इन हम आपके हैं कौन, जूता चोरी। ये चप्पल जूता का चुराना पंजाबी कल्चर में था, लेकिन बट इट बिकम सो नेशनल इंटरनेशनल इन इंडियन डायस्पोरा। आई टेल यू इट्स सो पॉपुलर। द इंडियन कम्युनिटीज हु आर अब्रॉड रोते हैं, नॉस्टैल्जिक हो जाते हैं। नॉस्टैल्जिया इज बीइंग कमर्शियलाइज्ड। अब जूता चोरी, उस तरह का फैशन, ऐसे ड्रेस चाहिए। वो माधुरी दीक्षित ने वो जो गाने के समय पहना था, मुझे ऐसा, दर्जी से कहता है टेलर से मुझे ऐसा बनाओ। दिस इज ब्रांडिंग, and this is, I say that, how it is represented and what kind of identity is formed, or how fusion works in a cultural framework. Pehle in our time, in high culture, fusion is denounced. I tell you, Three Idiots film aap sabne dekha hoga, because film and media, they are the prominent part of cultural studies. How this as a literary man, we should search literature into that. एक आता है, वीपी सिंह जी ने कहा था कि आप हिंदी भी बोलिएगा थोड़ा, क्योंकि इसमें कुछ ऐसे भी लोग हैं जो हिंदी के, तो मैं उस पे भी इसलिए आई वेंचर इनटू द हिंदी फ्रेम एज वेल। एक एपिसोड आता है थ्री इडियट्स में, आपने देखा होगा, जो बड़ा मुश्किल है कह पाना। कहते ना कि फार्टिंग, मैं तो बोलता हूँ कि यार कैसे लिटरेचर का बनता, फार्टिंग मतलब जैसे गैस छोड़ता है आदमी। उसमें कहता है ना कि उत्तम पाद धड़ंगा नाम, टाई टुई मध्यमा, शिष्यकारी हत्यारी, निशब्द प्राणघात का, इसी तरह का जो है वो होता है। अब देखो ये कहीं मतलब लेके स्टैंडर्ड टेक्स्ट में कहना बड़ा मुश्किल है। लुक एट द कंटेम्पररी कल्चर, that contemporary culture derives its sources from so many things, from modern myths, from modern cultural framework, from modern custom, from modern dress, for other things. So ये है, this is kind of mixing. So how it is represented, what is the representation of this? Like if you say for television, television represents what? Television represents entertainment. Television interest, communication. Television represents news. So what is this? Who owns this television? Who's the agency? State owned? Multinational corporations owned? What are they saying? What are they telling? Look at the political intervention here. So where the meaning is not signified kind of thing, that that an anchor is saying and hum usko samajh jaye. You know that, yeah, what is this inside this? So they, Stuart Hall and others, they talk about that. If you analyze a literary, a cultural text, so representation देखिए, then identity, what kind of identities are formed. अगर हम देखते हैं सास बहू वाले जो सीरियल दोपहर में आते हैं, जब आदमी लोग ऑफिस चले जाते हैं, आप देखिए क्या होता है उसमें। Different kinds of identities are formed. Family identity, individual identity, cultural identity, national identity, social identity, northeast identity, tribal identity, तमाम तरह की आइडेंटिटीज आर फॉर्म्ड। और किसी को भी आप कहीं भी चाहें तो इन टर्म्स ऑफ रिप्रेजेंटेशन आइडेंटिटी को, देन यू वांट टू बिकम दैट। कहते हैं ना यार कि अब इस आदमी को क्या हो गया, इसका ड्रेस मैनर सारा सब कुछ एक्शन बदल गया। अच्छा, फिल्म का असर पड़ा है बेटा, या टेलीविजन बहुत इस तरह से देखते हो क्या? So this is affecting our daily routine of life. So identity is another thing. Then production, who produces this? What are the its conventions? What are the written chapter of this? And the consumption, who consumes it? Who are the consumers? Ladies, educated, non-educated, farmers, teenagers. Who are they? They target at this. So you should analyze this, that this is meant for this group. They are the consumers. They go to the mall, they go to cinema, they go there, and they wear branded things. And the last one they say that is agency. Agency means the thing, the agency that controls it. Power, state owned television, or multinational companies own television, or what kind of this. Then this is, what I said, I repeat: representation, identity, production, consumption, and agency. If you analyze this, a text from this perspective, you will find it like graffiti. I say graffiti is what kind of this? Graffiti is a wall art. जैसे दीवारों पे लिख देते हैं, खंभों पे लिख देंगे, और ऐसे ऐसे नारे कभी कभी लिख देते हैं जो कि आप किसी आर्ट गैलरी में वो चीज नहीं देख पाओ। ऐसे चित्र बना देगा तो आर्ट गैलरी में नहीं मिलेगा। किसका है? कॉमन मैन है, गरीब है, ऑडियंस ऐसा जो जा नहीं सकता आर्ट गैलरी में। आर्ट गैलरी काइंड ऑफ आर्टिफैक्ट इज हाई आर्ट, and against that high art, what the common culture representation is this kind of graffiti. तो ग्राफिटी का क्या मतलब है? ग्राफिटी ये करता है कि सोशल पॉलिटिकल अवेयरनेस देने के लिए वो नारे लिखता है, वो चित्र बनाता है, भित्ति चित्र बना देता है। भित्ति बहुत पुराना है लेकिन नए फॉर्म में आता है, जिसको कि एजेंसी क्या कहती है? इट्स वैंडलिज्म। खोजो कहाँ गया, कौन लिख दिया, हमारे खिलाफ लिख दिया, इसके खिलाफ लिख दिया। If you are doing research in graffiti, I tell you, then you should also study under these tools, the 5 tools which I just mentioned. Then you will find that, yeah, ये भी है. You don't say that this cannot be the part of study. People are studying, researchers are doing work on this. आप you search Google पे सर्च करिए, देखिए आपको तमाम ऐसी चीज मिलेंगी कि हो क्या रहा है। I was listening to Chomsky's interview, देख रहा था कि कल्चरल फॉर्म्स को लेकर के क्या क्या करते हैं। तो so this is the way like fashion TV. फैशन टीवी इंडिया में बैन है, बैन कर दिया गया। क्यों? क्योंकि this is because here is the agency, but in America, in other this Western European countries, fashion TV is there. So you should know the context of all these things, that how cultural productions become the material culture. So culture basically is the expression of the people, and culture is the imposition on the people. I'm making 2 statements, like definition of democracy. Democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. But I'm using 2 prepositions here. Culture is the expression of the people. Expression of the people means common people, common man, working class people. That is popular culture. But if it is imposition on people, that is mass culture, mass production of culture. And mass production of culture is done through media, through other things, through production, through companies and factories. So I don't want to take much time for this. What I said, I tried to define this, the functioning of cultural studies, how cultural studies is important, what are the basic assumptions of cultural studies, how cultural studies is interdisciplinary, and how theory is interdisciplinary, how they are so intertwined. Cultural theory and cultural studies and theory is intertwined. So you cannot proceed a point further if you are not well versed in theory. And then I told you about the basic assumptions of cultural studies. And finally, I talked about the tools of analysis for research, for pedagogy, for gaining meaning of cultural text, giving you examples of so many things: film, media, fashion. There are so many things to say, but I would love to take questions if there are any. And thank you so much for your patient listening, one-sided listening. Had it been a classroom, then I would have been a different avatar, but this is a different kind of mode of expression. So thank you so much for your patient listening of my talk. Professor VP Singh ji, now see.
Thank you so much, sir.
Over to
I
you.
think your